You have passed through life without an opponent. No one can ever know what you are capable of, not even you. Look back over the past, with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too. The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. Sometimes in life, we need a few bad days in order to keep the good ones in perspective. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. It's time you realize that you have something in you more powerful and miraculous than the things that affect you and make you dance like a puppet. Whatever can happen at any time can happen today. They lose the day in expectation of the night, and the night in fear of the dawn. There is no better way to grow as a person than to do something you hate every day. Today, I escaped anxiety. Or no, I discarded it, because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others. Consult your friend on all things, especially on those which respect yourself. His counsel may then be useful where your own self-love might impair your judgment. To love only what happens, what was destined, no greater harmony. But to recognize that if it's humanly possible, you can do it too. You don't love yourself enough, or no great thing is you'd love your nature too, and what it demands of you. A fit body, a calm mind, a house full of love. These things cannot be bought. They must be earned.
It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. People in love often become edgy, dangerous.
They lose their sense of perspective. Think of the life you have lived until now is over, and as a dead man, see what's left as a bonus, and live it according to nature. In your soul, don't be passive or aggressive. In your life, don't be all about business. Sometimes in life, we must fight not only without fear, but also without hope. In life, it doesn't matter what happens to you or where you came from. It matters what you do with what happens and what you've been given. It can ruin your life only if it ruins your character. Otherwise, it cannot harm you, inside or out. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. The ultimate power in life is to be completely self-reliant, completely yourself. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Entrust everything willingly to the gods, and then make your way through life, no one's master and no one's slave. You will find no one willing to share out his money, but to how many does each of us divide up his life? Mastery of reading and writing requires a master, still more so life. Your perspective on life comes from the cage you were held captive in. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. It is more civilized to make fun of life than to bewail it. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. But maybe it's good to put things in perspective. But sometimes, I think that the only perspective is to really be there. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In a little while you will have forgotten everything. In a little while everything will have forgotten you. The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think or do, only what you do. As long as you live, keep learning how to live to err is human, but to persist in the mistake is diabolical. Every one of us is, in the cosmic perspective, precious. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. How does it help to make troubles heavier by bemoaning them? The rod that smiles steals something from the thief. If a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable. People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy.
If you'll study even the smallest bit of science, for all practical purposes, we are nothing.
Choose not to be harmed.
And you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed. And you haven't been. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. This is our big mistake, to think we look forward to death. Most of death is already gone. Whatever time has passed is owned by death. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one.
Whatever you have been expecting for some time
Comes as less of a shock. Don't wait to do things that matter and savor the time you have. It's not that we have little time, but more that we waste a good deal of it. Remember matter, how tiny your share of it. Time, how brief and fleeting your allotment of it. Fate, how small a role you play in it. The average man is a conformist, accepting miseries and disasters with the stoicism of a cow standing in the rain. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Whatever happens at all happens as it should. You will find this true if you watch narrowly. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way.
It is not the man who is too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Nothing endures but change.
The best answer to anger is silence. Agreed, but nature set a limit on that, as it did on eating and drinking. There is no genius without a touch of madness. And it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. He who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is alive. To be calm is the highest achievement of the self. If it does, you have failed to practice your virtues by going with the hype of pain. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. We're never unhappy until we remember why we're supposed to be unhappy. All vices are at odds with nature. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. It is the quality rather than the quantity that matters. Uncertainty is an uncomfortable position, but certainty is an absurd one. Change. Nothing inherently bad in the process, nothing inherently good in the result. Ignorance is the cause of fear. We become wiser by adversity. Prosperity destroys our appreciation of the right. The good things of prosperity are to be wished, but the good things that belong to adversity are to be admired. Whatever anyone does or says, I'm bound to the good. Whatever anyone does or says, I must be what I am and show my true colors. Produce them in your mind, as you know them from experience or from history, all just the same, only the people different. No one can keep you from living as your nature requires. Nothing can happen to you that is not required by nature. To move from one unselfish action to another with God in mind, only there delight and stillness. Is it the action of a responsible being, part of society, and subject to the same decrees as God? If what you have seems insufficient to you, then though you possess the world, you will yet be miserable. Take a deep breath. Get present in the moment and ask yourself what is important this very second. Floods will rob us of one thing, fire of another. These are conditions of our existence which we cannot change. Do what you will. Even if you tear yourself apart, most people will continue doing the same things. He is most powerful who has power over himself. To be even-minded is the greatest virtue. I shall never be ashamed of citing a bad author if the line is good. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for a kindness. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. No human thing is of serious importance. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. Life, if well lived, is long enough. It does not matter what you bear, but how you bear it. To be stoic is not to be emotionless, but to remain unaffected by your emotions. Don't aim to be perfect. Aim to be anti-fragile. Just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. Order your soul. Reduce your wants. I begin to speak only when I'm certain what I'll say isn't better left unsaid.
If you are irritated by every rub, how will your mirror be polished?
The great law of nature is that it never stops. There is no end.
Associate with people who are likely to improve you.
Wealth is the slave of the wise, the master of the fool. The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. The limit is not the sky. The limit is the mind. Make the mind tougher by exposing it to adversity. Problems only exist in the human mind.
What injures the hive injures the bee.
To stop talking about what the good man is like and just be one. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. She released her grievances like handfuls of birdseed. They are there, and they are gone. No man is good by chance. Virtue is something which must be learned. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. That man is happy, whose reason recommends to him the whole posture of his affairs. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. The willing are led by fate, the reluctant dragged. Discomfort is the currency of success. Is a world without pain possible? Then don't ask the impossible. Learn to detach yourself from the chaos of the battlefield. Learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. That man lives badly who does not know how to die well. Endurance is not just the ability to bear a hard thing, but to turn it into glory. Stoicism is the wisdom of madness, and cynicism, the madness of wisdom. The stoicism that comes of endurance has something of death in it. What's the good of being stoical if nobody notices? The things you think about determine the quality of your mind.
Once we accept our limits,
We go beyond them.
whoever has nothing to hope,
Let him despair of nothing. Warriors should suffer their pain silently. Respect the past. Be open to the future. It's far better to seem like a downer than to be blindsided or caught off guard. Stoicism is designed to be medicine for the soul. Appreciating what you have is the best cure for missing what you have lost. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. Even strength must bow to wisdom sometimes. I wanted the whole world or nothing. Failures are finger post S on the road to achievement. Intelligence consists in ignoring things that are irrelevant. Be so busy building your own life that other people's is of no concern. Stay calm and serene regardless of what life throws at you. Show people, don't tell people. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already. That when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. The past has no power over the present moment. Books are the training weights of the mind. For as time passes, we forget what we learned and end up doing the opposite and hold opinions the opposite of what we should. Where then do I look for good and evil, not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself to the choices that are my own? Curb your desire. Don't set your heart on so many things, and you will get what you need. Unhappy man, who are the slave even of a girl, why then do you still call yourself free? When someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval. That's why the philosophers warn us not to be satisfied with mere learning, but to add practice and then training. Anything or anyone capable of angering you becomes your master. Be silent for the most part, or if you speak, say only what is necessary and in a few words. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. Just keep in mind, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. We should always be asking ourselves, is this something that is or is not in my control? For it is better to die of hunger, but free from distress and fear, than to live in plenty with a troubled mind.
It isn't the things themselves that disturb people, but the judgments that they form about them.
Remain silent for the most part, or say only what is essential and in few words. If you want to make progress, put up with being perceived as ignorant or naive in worldly matters. Don't aspire to a reputation for sagacity. Caring about the one inevitably means you are going to shortchange the other. How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. What upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about these things. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. Because he not only wants to perform well, he wants to be well received, and the latter lies outside his control. Progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. I cannot escape death, but at least I can escape the fear of it. So why be upset if it happens now? If it isn't now, it's later. Very well, what further concern have I? For my part has been fulfilled. Remind yourself that what you love is mortal. How long can you afford to put off who you really want to be? Your nobler self cannot wait any longer. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Reason is not measured by size or height, but by principle. Try to enjoy the great festival of life with other men. It is difficulties that show what men are.
If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life.
It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control.